the number one rule is volleyball reps. I tell people, why does a teenage kid progress so well? Number one, every time they're on a court, they're getting coached. Like, they don't go to a court without getting coached, so they got that. Number two, a teenage kid doesn't have their wife or their husband sitting next to them in their bed while they're hand setting to the ceiling, to tell them, can you please stop doing that? A teenage kid is sitting in their beds getting another 500 reps before bed because they're hooked on the sport. Like, reps are reps. They'll help you.
People compare motivation and discipline all the time. They say, well, you just got to be motivated to go to the gym. No, you don't need to be motivated. Motivation is an emotion. You need discipline. Just get out of bed and do it. Just like the jump training program. Just get out of bed and do it. Doesn't matter. If you like it, you don't like it, just do it. And then when you go show up at the court later, you'll be motivated because suddenly you're in better shape and you're jumping higher, you're hitting harder, and your endurance is better.
Hey everybody, it's Mark with Better at Beach, and today we have a very special guest. Of course, Brandon is here, but we've got one of the most lethal humans in history, a former Navy captain, passionate beach volleyball player, coach, and somebody who has built his own community and company based on leagues, tournaments, training, coaching. He happens to also have been a part of our online community. He joined as a member in our Coaches Academy. And now, because we found out that he was such an incredible coach, he also coaches at a lot of our Better at Beach camps. So if that kind of sounds like you, if you're passionate about beach volleyball, you love coaching, you're developing a program, number one, we can assist you with that. And number two, if you're absolutely awesome with humans and you are an extremely good coach, we want you to coach for our camp. So if you want to ever be a Better at Beach camp coach, travel the country, work with hungry, passionate, awesome people on weekends, we would love to have you the same way that we have Steve Stacey on our team now. And so we're going to get into that. But before we get to that, we are going to talk about our upcoming camps. February 6th, we will be in Orlando, Florida at the Phil Dahauser Academy. He'll be there. He'll be hanging out. He won't be coaching, but he's going to come out for a few impromptu sessions and talk about his experience and drop some knowledge on us. February 13th in Salt Lake City. February 15th, we've got a one-day clinic in Santa Monica, California. February 20th, we'll be in Madison, Wisconsin. March 6th, both Brandon and I, special event, will be in Oklahoma City. So if you want to come and meet Brandon and me and our other coaches, that's March 6th in Oklahoma City, March 13th in Seattle, Washington, March 20th in Long Island, New York, March 27th at Seeger Sandbar in New Orleans, and April 10th, Brandon's hometown in Virginia Beach, and April 17th, where you will get to meet Steve Stacey, so long as he is available, and we're asking him to coach as of this call. We will be in Fort Myers, Florida, which is a fantastic venue. So April 17th, kick off the summer or the spring season in Fort Myers with us. So Steve Stacey, we met a long time ago, back in Norway, and our relationship kind of started then. But then you came on as a part of the Coach Academy because you were starting to develop Naples Beach Volleyball. So first, could you tell us a little bit about your beach volleyball history and then the abbreviated sequence of steps that led you to develop now Naples Beach Volleyball?
Hey, first of all, thank you so much, Mark and Brandon, for having me on. This is an amazing opportunity to get to talk about Naples Beach Volleyball for a minute. A little bit about me. Who doesn't like doing that, right? So yeah, I mean, I would classify myself as a volleyball super fan. I love volleyball, passionate about it. I can't believe I get paid to do this, right? I'm just a super fan. I knew you as a fan before I knew you as a person. Same with Brandon, same with Karch and, my era guys. And I still follow the sport today. I got lucky. I got to play with Christian Sorum. I'm going to name drop, but it's just such a lovely community. It's so small, and the athletes are not millionaires. So they're approachable, nice people. They put on clinics, you get to know them, and so on and so forth. So it started out as a super fan. And then of course, I was playing at volleyball as much as possible. And back when I started back in, volleyball was invented in 18. So back when I started, there wasn't coaching resources that you guys have brought to the table. And so, you kind of learn anecdotally, you play, you show up and play. Training, not for the amateur guys. We were just show up on the weekends, and eventually I was playing open, won a couple every now and then. But there wasn't a system, there wasn't coaching, there wasn't what you guys have brought to the community, which I have to applaud you is amazing. I see players at every one of your camps that I go to improve during the camp. I mean, come on. That's just
That's pretty cool.
I only had you guys back in the 20s. I might have been okay. But regardless, when I retired from the Navy after 35 very short years, I was like, man, I want to start a volleyball club. My wife's a passionate volleyball player as well. Taller than me. She's, of course, younger and more beautiful. So
we marry up. Yeah.
I her at gunpoint. She and I decided we'd go for it. Honestly, Barrett Beach was the primary resource and the thing that gave me the confidence that I thought, you know what, I could probably do this. As soon as I got to your coaches and clubs, 50 plus practice plans, because former military, I'm used to line by line from 0600 to 0605. We will discuss curriculum from 605 to 650. For me, the biggest concern was what's the sequence? How do we even begin? Where do we dig in? And your online material was like, oh, what a godsend. So, I mean, I went
never thought of it like that. Like, okay, in a way we think about that, but like looking at somebody who likes structure and saying, is there a plan that I can put forth and then I can calibrate from that? I never thought that it would like attract somebody who's a very systems oriented guy.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the military teaches us systems and process, right? Systems and process. We can take an 18-year-old moron and turn him into a lethal weapon in less than a year. So systems and process, right? So I can take these. I had an 8-year-old yesterday, Paula, amazing kid, 8 years old. And within 15 minutes of doing some of your training, she picked it up and rocking and rolling. And she's dropping cut shots in a basket.
That's
8 years old. Sick, right? Cool. And then, one of the big things was how Brandon, so just to kind of backstep a little bit. Yeah, I found you guys online, and then I just started reaching out to every coach I knew, like, hey, can I just show up and help? So Yenser with V-Ball Academy mentioned that you guys were coming, and I said, can I just show up and help? And he was like, sure, I'm not going to pay you. Well, I think that's when I met you guys. I met Brandon. And then I watched Brandon explaining to somebody about, I think we were working on setting, and we're talking about where the power comes from. So Brandon was like, in a set, Brandon's like, all right, well, just take your hands and push the ball. All right. And then just use which one's more powerful. Right. And then he gave some visuals, and that kind of, I've been an instructor in the military my whole life, but that kind of like, oh, wow. Opened my eyes to the visualization. And then all the camps that I've done with you, Mark, and the way you're visual, because most of us learn visually, able to describe things. And it's so helpful when I'm coaching. I'm about to start coaching the 3rd season now of a high school team, a local high school team. And the techniques I've learned through going to your camps as a coach, it's invaluable. So yeah, not only the structure, with the practice programs you had, but more the technique of describing how things should look. Like you're standing on top of the antenna, balancing 6 feet above, and you're going to go 6 and 6, and the ball's got to go just up on your head. But it really helps. I can see it in the kids, and I can see it in some of the young adults that I coach as well, and the older adults. So with starting Naples Beach Volleyball, I thought, the most important thing is just to become a really good coach. If you become a good coach and then build a system to build other coaches, and you guys are the only ones with systems to build other coaches. And that's why I joined the online community, because I thought, well, this would be fun. I could try out my coaching online and see, Mark would slap me around a little bit, and Brandon just keep me on the straight and narrow. So it's been very rewarding. Every time I tune in, I absolutely learn something. And I appreciate that opportunity as well. For anybody looking to start their own club, I just highly recommend reaching out to these guys. I mean, they're going to help you out. Reach out to any clubs near you. I mean, there's a new club that started here in Naples, which is competition, but you know what? It's just, we all need to get together and work as a team and learn. It's, fortunately for us, I'm retired, so I'd like to say it's not about the money, but it's mostly not about the money. Thank God, because it's volleyball. But for you two, you know them just fine. But
so
the rest
when
of
you were, so thank you for all that, first of all, and like why we needed to have you at camps was just like your personal presence, storytelling ability, your ability to connect with anybody. We always say that like, hey, we can teach anybody to coach volleyball. Like that's an easy process to teach and train your eyes, but it's very rare that we can find somebody who can connect with people in the way that you do. And that's when we first met, we ran that camp in Miami together, and then we got to know you. I was like, I want this guy in front of our people. Like, he's only going to be an extreme benefit. And then it was selfish. I was like, that how much can I learn from somebody who has trained and been and probably is one of the most lethal people in the world? Like, good guy to have on my side. So
lethal spelling.
So thank you for doing all that. But when you were developing at Naples Beach Volleyball, did you want just a group of people to play with? Were you saying, man, you know what, I love volleyball, so I'd like to share more of that with people? Where did that impulse come from to develop your own community company with leagues and classes and such?
Yeah, I mean, a part of it was very selfish. I just wanted more people to play volleyball with. Naples is a small community. There was a small community of players. There was like one guy, he coordinated all the text messages. It wasn't a group chat. It was just like through him. And
we all know that guy.
Highly efficient, but nice. I mean, everybody's heart was in the right direction, I think, and it is a very good community. Older community, it's Naples. So I'm one of the young ones at almost 60. Wish I was kidding. Yeah, so part of it was selfish. I just wanted to have more people to play with, right? But another piece was I just saw a need. Like, high school here had just started as a sport, beach sport. Literally started the year after I started Naples Beach Volleyball. So we added like 9 schools in the region just around us that have high school beach volleyball. So yeah, that was part of it. The other piece was, it's something I'm passionate about. I asked myself, when Sophie and I asked ourselves, what are we passionate about? What do we want to do? And wouldn't it be great if we could make money playing volleyball? Ha ha ha. Well, I'm not going to win any tournaments. So what other options are there? Maybe start a club. Cool. So we looked into it and looked around. There weren't any other clubs. We're like, well, either there's no need or, there's not a lot of competition. So started the club so we could really be bad and still be successful. So
that's a good point. If you have the areas or courts that you can rent or space without adding any money, if you want to play more, if you want to get connected more, from a business standpoint, interesting question. Like, do people want it, or is it just not present? Why are we not hearing about it? Well, what do we lose by saying, hey, we're going to go out for an hour, 2 hours, invite people to play? There's only positive potential from that, right? And what do you lose? You lose 2 hours of getting to play with people who might be slightly worse than you, but you're still outside on the sand and hanging out.
Yeah, and we were able to match resources to the needs, right? So I was able to connect some parks and some new facilities to a need. I think we were able to discover that need through WhatsApp. We have a chat group. I've grown to about 250 people. Not just local, because Naples is such a commuter place. All us know. Was able to build an email list up to about 1,000. I was able to get, and I only get called spam by half of them every time. No, it's actually pretty good.
Welcome to the club.
MailChimp would cancel me if that was true. But through local promotions, through Instagram especially, and Facebook, we were able to grow, take the community that existed, stitch together some pieces. Started with, I threw some free leagues, King of the Beach leagues. So set up courts, did all that. Then Hurricane Ian happened, and Hurricane Ian changed the dynamics of this community. It was interesting because Hurricane Ian wiped out our courts. And when the community went to put them back, the city's like, you don't have a permit. So we couldn't put them back. So I organized the community to buy net systems. So we bought portable net systems. So now we have 4 portable net systems, and we have a guy who lives next to the pier who lets us put them in boxes next to the pier. So now as a community, we go out, we grab the nets, we set them up, we play. That's all not for profit. That's just pickup. Every week I'm contacted by people looking for pickup play. And I always like, hey, show up here. You know, here's all the locations, kind of just like helping people find volleyball. But at the same time, I discovered a need for leagues. So we've run some leagues, which Mark, thank you for playing in the league that day.
Oh, it was fun. The lights were perfect. Sand was good. Wide open courts. I was like, and it was hard to find, but it's like so many beach volleyball courts in the world where they're not obvious, but as soon as you find it, you're like, what is this little tiny paradise that only the locals know about, or the people who are at that facility know about? One of my questions is, if you had to start from zero today, because I didn't hear the process of, did you build a website? Did you get an LLC? All that stuff. If you had to start from zero today in a brand new city, you said WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups. Like, what would be your personal like structure of, hey, how do we at least get the ball rolling? Would you start WhatsApp groups first? Would you start posting in Facebook groups? Would you get a website or a forum? Like, what's the easiest and lowest friction to build the beach volleyball in somebody's town where they go, well, there's either no need or there's nothing here?
That's a great question. I'd say if I had to redo it, if I had to start over again, number one, you gotta have your own website. You just have to. So, and I would absolutely advise you to do it yourself, either Squarespace or Wix. Do it yourself, because you're constantly updating it. You're constantly changing the programs. It's seasonal, right? So you don't want to depend on a web developer to do that at $100 an hour. Do it yourself. Number 2, Instagram. Absolutely. Build out your Instagram. We're up to, I don't know, 1,200 followers or something like that. And in our local area, they're all local. So we really have an impact in our little local area. And then number 3 would be Facebook. I don't know if Facebook works in every community. I know it works in Naples, but Facebook is a big one for us. And then when you hold your camps, your clinics, your trainings, your leagues, and your tournaments, right? So those are the 5 big things we do. Collect the emails, get the email list, because, you know, as you're well aware, email is huge. It's direct communication. I mean, the best thing is text messaging. I still haven't cracked that nut, because even though I've got all the phone numbers, I put it in the system, I keep getting it. It's just a technical issue, keeps rejecting, because they're very cautious about letting you send text messages, which I get.
Yeah, we moved to WhatsApp. I was just like, any phone number we get, and I'm coaching a couple of people who are just building their own programs based on that. One of the big changes that we had to make for one guy was nothing about your Instagram handle says where you are. So you're posting videos that are getting 1 million views, like he's going super viral, and he wants to fill out his lessons on Thursday nights. And I go, at no point in anywhere in the first 3 steps are you saying Ontario, Canada. Like, step number 1, easy fix. That way anybody in Ontario knows, okay, blah, blah, blah. You have Naples Beach Volleyball, right? So if you do develop some Instagram, like, everybody wants to come with a famous, catchy name, but to get started, I recommend doing what Steve did and like say your city and or your state in your handle. You could change it then once you become famous. Like, utilize, oh, that's near me. Cool. I should follow this. And I think that's something that you did well. And then what we've had to move to was WhatsApp. Like the open rate on WhatsApp is something like 90%. The open rate, if you're crushing it on email, is 30%. So my number one for like anybody starting is grow a WhatsApp group. Like every phone number you have, put them in there, add them to it. Say, hey, I apologize if I've added you to the wrong group. Just knock yourself out, and they unsubscribe. But the people that are interested, let them go. So I love WhatsApp. I don't really love the like automated SMS system. Maybe just because we haven't mastered it. But getting people into a text group where 90% of people will open every text, just do that right away.
Yeah, I absolutely concur with you. And then, it's interesting from it's kind of a drama perspective. Cause beach volleyball isn't beach volleyball without drama.
Yeah.
We have a large SMS WhatsApp group, 250 plus people, right? All levels. So when you say, hey, who wants to go play on Friday? Who's showing up? Pros, right?
Right.
So what's happened is there's been splinter group formed.
Fingers.
Like the high level women have their group, and the high level men, highish level men have their group. And it's just kind of funny to watch it all branch off. And then maybe 4, 8, 12 of the high level guys show up, and then one of the lower level guys shows up. And he's like, why didn't anybody tell me? So anyway, it's kind of funny. You know how that goes.
Steve, I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
So one of the things that we're doing now is we're consulting clubs and organizations like your own. And one of the things that really I enjoy hearing, obviously, because hopefully I can help it. But can you think back, and it's kind of a similar question to what Mark asked. I think it's just framed a little differently. Like one or two of your biggest pain points of like starting the club and how you were able to fix those. I know it's a broad question, but
that's a great question. And I will say right away, number one was insurance. Okay.
Huh.
Well, the LLC, all that. Nowadays you have ChatGPT. You can just have you do it and it'll tell you. Easy day. I'll even provide the links. But the challenge with insurance, because the AVP has shifted, so I use the AVP's insurance, right, to get a certificate of insurance for any facility I'd like to use. So the COIs. And at first I was having challenges with that because the AVP wasn't super responsive a while ago. And so I had to go out and get my own insurance. So like the very first clinic I ran was at Midtown, where we do, where you guys do the clinic, the one you're going to do in April 17th and 19th.
Yeah.
Before Myers. And I needed insurance, and that cost me $600 for just that one event. So I'm like, wow, this is not sustainable. Excuse me. But then I was able
and
to
anyone signing up for tournaments, they always forget that. They're like, you're making bank. We're all paying $40 a person. Look how many people there are here. And you're like,
yeah. So
70 of you went to covering insurance. Let's see.
So, Brandon, I think, insurance, especially for somebody who doesn't know, there are, USA Volleyball provides insurance. But you have to become a USA Volleyball club. In order to do so, you have to write a book. You literally have to write a book on all your policies and procedures. There are other books to take, and you can, plagiarize as much as you can and make it work. They're mostly indoor clubs, right? And you have to take it and modify it for beach. But now I use USA Volleyball because AVP no longer has insurance for us. So, so insurance was
with the USA Volleyball. Sorry to cut you off there. Did you notice that it was significantly cheaper to go through them versus?
Absolutely. No, it's this is not even comparable. The only challenge is everybody who plays has to be a member of USA Volleyball. So you can't just random people show up and, like we do Friday Night Lights and people just show up. It's Friday Night Lights, and those things, you just crush your fingers. Don't tell my wife. Anyway. But yeah, so insurance was a big one. That was big. The other big thing was resources, right? So for instance, parks and rec, cities and counties, they've got courts, and there are people using those courts. But if you're an organization like mine, you'd like to schedule regular usage of the court for training kids and doing clinics and tournaments and so on and so forth. Or your local beach, if you can set up on the beach. So that I know you guys have run into challenges with that and probably have some great solutions. For me, the solution was just to be in their face all the time. I was down there talking to them, playing on the courts, meeting with the administrators. And now after this is our starting our 4th year. I just got an email. They asked us to run a 10-week program all summer.
Way to
No
go.
cost to me. I get both courts as long as I want them all summer on the beach. Gorgeous, right?
Amazing.
So it's a revenue split with them. So we give them a
Yeah.
little bit of revenue, and but my overhead is 0 for the courts.
But
And
that's the advantage. Like what we did early was we were like, man, like the city's gonna take all of this. They're gonna take all this, and they still do take. But if you don't go to a meeting, if you don't get on phone calls with them, the relationship can never develop into something fruitful. Where if you go up front, like, okay, yeah, you're gonna save money by hiding from your city, but at some point this is going to be an absolute cap for you. And if you want to grow and be big, like, yeah, you can always run 8 to 12 and just set up a Parkinson on the beach. But if you want to have a legitimate company and you want the ability to grow, and then you want the city's resource and all of their thousands and thousands of contacts, like, you should establish an early relationship. And all that takes is go to the Parks and Recs on your city website, call somebody, say, this is what I would like to do. Do you have any programs? Do you have any opportunities? Can I develop them? And then it does take a lot of homework and hours to sit, to go to the meetings, to talk to people, and then sometimes force a hand and finagle the way you're talking about your programs to say, look, this is going to be big. And if you're in Florida, if you're in California, if you're in another state, you say, look, if we develop this, these are high school programs already. These are college scholarships. You're doing good things, and we're creating a healthy, fun opportunity for any residents. Like, you should support this, because we're giving opportunities for kids. We're giving healthy outlets for adults. And I will take care of your beach, your facilities better than anyone else will. I will make sure, because I have insurance too, that there are no bottles, there's no garbage. We clean up after ourselves. Like, I have incentive to run a great program. So you should vote for me. And that might take a few meetings and some convincing, but in the end, it becomes really worth it because, like you just said, hey, I know you're the volleyball guy. We want this big 10-week program. Can you head it up? Because you're the first one that they know about, instead of now they want a program and they've got to go search. Like, well, you are already in their inbox. They're just going to give it to you.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think I've probably, Mark, you and I, but especially in the last couple of years, I've actually gotten on the good graces of the city. And there's 2 ways you can go about it. One of them is, I think a lot of people approach cities and counties or localities as, you owe me this. And I think that that's a really tricky way to go about it, because it makes, like, the conversation, when you're having that conversation with the city, you're like, hey, I'm doing this and you should accept it. But eventually that doesn't work. It creates turmoil. It creates, like, almost like an elitism kind of mentality where you're holding yourself at a standard and expecting somebody else to meet that standard without any proof. But the second way, that after a lot of failed, I went to Hermosa Beach, where we've had our fair share of disagreements over the last decade, but I went to them and I was like, you know what? I'm going to approach the city like they're one of my clients. And if I was trying to sell you a membership or a class package, I would do it in a way of like, hey, like, let me understand what you're trying to improve. Okay, that's what you want to improve. This is a solution that I have for it. And I think if we work together on this, then we can solve that problem. And it was unbelievable to me, the difference in conversations that I had with those people that are in charge of the city, because it went from a conversation of me asking for things to a conversation where it was very open to being back and forth and understanding that, hey, it is going to take time. Because we talk about, like, community as beach volleyball, and community is one of the strengths, right? And that's something that we lean on in the sport. And I think sometimes, like, we expect the organizers of those communities that we're trying to build in to just accept it. But instead I was like, you know what? You might be the most important person in this community. And when I started looking at them that way, I think it allowed me to kind of take a step back and realize, hey, I'm not the hot shot. But instead, like, hey, I need your help. And that if you can open up conversations that way, I think it gets rid of a lot of unnecessary conversations. So it's nice that you found that quickly. And
Well, it's funny, and I don't know if we have time for a stupid little story, but the first time I met this park administrator, call him Greg because that's his name, he was kicking me off of the courts. So I had organized a league, and it was the league finals, and we had been setting up nets and playing at the beach. The problem was red tide, and this was sometime after Hurricane Ian. The red tide, you couldn't play down there because it was just getting your eyes. It was bad. It was really bad. I don't know if Mark, you just moved to Florida, so it's coming your way.
And
when you get a red tide,
guys, it's like a bacteria. Like the water's disgusting. It creates a health issue.
Yeah, and if there's any wind, it kicks it up into the air, and it aerolizes it. I don't know if that's a word, but it goes into your eyeballs, and it itches and it burns. So anyway, long story infinite, we end up moving to the park, and I've got clipboards, and we're running the whole thing, and this guy, unassuming dude, Greg, walks up to me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we're just finishing our league here." He's like, no, you can't do that. He said, "I tell you what, I'm not going to shut you down, but you can't do this." I'm like, "Yes, sir. Well, thank you for letting us finish our league." Blah, blah, blah. So we finished the league that night. I hunted him down the next day, and I went and started a conversation with him. Like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't know. I'm Naples Beach Volleyball. What can we do to work together?" And now we're really good friends, and he's, it's worked out quite well, but it started like this. Yeah. Like you say, Brandon.
As it usually does.
The other way, he's the client. And you're right. It's, they're emailing thousands of people. They're going to fill up the summer program. Like it's going to be packed for 10 weeks. Right. So my biggest problem now is hiring staff to run the program. And that's all based on that approach to the city is, they're responsible for building community. And if you look at yourself as a helper to step in and help them, then you're just taking the load off of them. And, improving the courts, I put my own lines down, put nets up, put antennas up. I've spent a lot of money. Relatively, it's pennies on the dollar when you think about it, because it's a free facility just generally. And if we take care of it, then people will actually show up and play. Now the high-level women play at this park because we've improved it so much. The sand is improved. Thank you, Hurricane, such and such. It puts sand on the court. Anyway, just generally. So yeah, I would say to round out your question, Brandon, those are kind of the two big things: was insurance and resources, putting those together. And of course, my own insecurity around coaching, because I've never been on the AVP. I've never qualified. I played in qualifiers. I've never qualified to be on the AVP. There's much better players here in Naples than me. Like James Fellows is a really amazing player. Andy Wimmer. There's guys here that just put me to shame. But from a coaching perspective, I'm like, well, I can be a coach. I know the game. I love to watch the game, and I love to analyze every little detail about it. And, through your mentorship, I've been able to explain visually, kind of give analogies, come up with little systems to teach all the important things about beach, and then just keep iterating. I learn something every time I go. And Yenser Boom Boom Bormans is coming to Miami.
Oh yeah, Stefan. Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I can sneak over there and meet Boom Boom. And I don't know if I can learn anything from him. Like, you jump high, hit ball hard. Yeah.
He sounds like he has some good English.
What kind of advice could I take from that guy? Right. But it would just be interesting to see him coach, and I would love to learn something from him.
That's kind of what's cool about your person. For me, is that somebody who's been in such a leadership role, and one of the things that you've decided to value most was, how do I learn from others who are already doing something slightly outside the realm of what I'm doing, and that you still actively do it. Like you came to our camps as a volunteer, and they're like, yo, you should be a camp coach. And then you hear about another coach going to be somewhere that has done it at a high level, and you're like, somebody I want to learn from, somebody I want to learn from. So instead of staying in your own pocket of knowledge and being an experienced open player who's won open tournaments, you're like, what else do I have to learn? And that's such a rare and admirable quality, to just be constantly trying to pick out little things, like find the people and then pick out little things that say, this is going to be nice for my little toolbox.
I think curiosity has served me well throughout my life, throughout the military, asking questions. That I think the impression of military folks is that we don't question things, and that's absolutely not true. Curiosity serves you well throughout life. It has served me well. So that's one of my driving functions. Like, I'm not just running volleyball. As you know, I'm building an app to make dating better. I'm currently looking for a co-founder. I'm on Y Combinator looking for a co-founder. I'm curious about stuff. This AI is just driving me nuts. I love it. It's so much fun, right? So I'm learning about AI, and then it's just mind blowing. It's Star Trek coming to life, So curiosity is what really drives me. I'm curious, and selfishly, it's helped me be a better player. It's helped me become steadier and really find the openings on the court. And as much as we all like winning, we all hate losing. So to avoid the pain of loss, helped me out quite a bit. Plus, having lost my ability to really jump and thump, you got to start playing up here a lot more. So, but
would you have gone back, like as a player, talking to the people who think, and this is a big fallacy, but think they're past their athletic peak? You're somebody who got to embrace your athletic peak because you always had to stay in top condition. I think most people who are past what is the typical age peak, they still haven't experienced their peak because you never went for 3-4 years going hard at a physicality. So your peak might be in front of you, even if you're 40 years old. But for somebody who's done that and gone to all right, now I need to find openings. Do you wish as a player that you would have found those openings earlier so that you had more options? Or were you like, no, I did the right thing for playing by being really physical early, and now I'm doing the right thing by adding in more vision, shot selection, control?
I wish somebody had come up to me in my 20s and opened Webster's dictionary and showed me what the word shot meant.
Same.
Because
I wish I did in my 30s.
I didn't know what it was. Mongo hit ball, and guys like John Bamford blocked the shit out of me, and but jump and thump was all I knew. I mean, my shots were just pathetic. Again, I wasn't trying, I wasn't a professional player like you guys, but even at the open level, good Lord, if I had better at beach back then, I certainly would have been a much better player. You can get a point with a shot? Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah.
Especially
I agree with you.
Football field to shoot into.
It was even bigger back when in the 1800s, it was huge. So the other thing too is that, I think everybody compares themselves to somebody else, right? So like, I compare myself to the best players in the world because I've watched the best players in the world. I shouldn't, because I'm not in the same universe as those guys. I'm not in the same universe as either of you. But your techniques can be replicated at our level. And then there's a lot of other things that we can learn from watching the perfect form. You can watch Larry Bird make that 3-pointer. You can try it all you want. You might not make it, but at least you can understand that technique that he has. So, had I had that ability to really study, if YouTube was a thing back then, if they had the internet, then I would have been able to watch you guys and go, oh, that'll earn me another point. So I can't tell you how many times I lost in the semifinals by 2 points. It's all it took, just a couple points here and there.
Yeah,
one side else, right?
Trying the same thing over and over again.
Decision, right? My decision map was ball set good, Steve hit ball. Ball set bad. Steve hit ball. Yeah, it was it was pretty linear, I would say.
Like
No.
reverse tree, like starting from the inside. Everything ends at the trunk.
It all leads back.
So yeah, I mean, look, I get that a lot of people that I've coached in your camps and clinics, I can see that they're not at their level. They're not there yet because they're physically not there. They may be past what we would consider their prime, past their 20s, 30s, but man, they're on their way up, and you can see that they haven't peaked yet. And I even, I'm in the gym every day because of beach volleyball. I really want to be able to I'm trying to jump higher still, and every inch counts, as they say. So it's really important to get to that peak, to really stay in shape. That jump training program you guys have, fantastic. Those airplanes, I can finally do them now.
Those are the biggest pain in the I almost wish I never included those, just because when I'm falling in the middle of my own workout videos, I'm like, yeah, it's hard, guys.
How many takes did it take for you to do that? I'm watching you do it. I'm like, that can't be real.
Oh, and then Janelle, my wife, steps in and she just like,
Okay.
I'm like, can you not show off in my workout videos?
But the beach volleyball gives me the curiosity to learn, but the drive. People compare motivation and discipline all the time. They say, well, you just got to be motivated to go to the gym. No, you don't need to be motivated. Motivation is an emotion. You need discipline. Just get out of bed and do it. Just like the jump training program. Just get out of bed and do it. Doesn't matter. If you like it, you don't like it, just do it. And then when you go show up at the court later, you'll be motivated because suddenly you're in better shape and you're jumping higher, you're hitting harder, and your endurance is better.
Mm-hmm. People forget that results remotivate you.
Correct.
Like once you start feeling it, you go, oh, success.
It's working.
Boom. Now I'm willing to work harder, but people want the results before that. And it's like, these have to compound a little bit where you've got to work, then you see results and you go, oh, from my work, I get results. So now I'm willing to put work in harder. Like we're going through that with my mother-in-law, where it's, she's like, oh my God, my hips aren't hurting anymore. I'm walking better. And I'm like, yeah, because we forced you to step into our garage gym for 15 minutes every night. Like it wasn't the turmeric that you took, because she started thanking turmeric. And I was like, you started taking turmeric 8 weeks after we started our training program. and you say, oh, turmeric is the solution to my pain. I'm like, no, it was your man.
Yeah, it's a delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. You got discipline is delaying gratification. You just got to be willing to step in and do the work. Yeah, on the primary thing for Naples Beach Volleyball is we're always trying new things. Trying leagues, we're trying tournaments. And I reached out to the king of the court people, Wilco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wilco Nita. So I reached out to him and made contact and said, I want to run King of the Beach in the US. What do we got to do to make that happen? And I got to do it. So I ran it in Florida. I ran 5 qualifying tournaments in Florida, and we put people down and got to watch you guys in person. And I got to go out and embarrass myself on the court. It was fun. I mean, my biggest advice to anybody who's even considering or thinking about this is just do it. Just get out there, be curious, ask questions, reach out to promoters. Wilco's awesome dude. And so is Vashlav, his second in command. Awesome dudes, willing to do. And they're like, yeah, sure. That sounds like, sure. Go ahead, use our logo. Go ahead and throw our name around and, go ahead and here's our software. I got super admin access to their software to this day. Don't delete it. False shot. Anyway. And there's a new app out there, Beach Liga. Beach Liga is going to start running King of the Court software. I don't know if the negotiation's done. They're working on it, but I downloaded it. I tried it. I didn't like it, but so just reach out to people, reach out to the AVP, reach out to whoever you want.
Back to the programs that when you start developing. So what were the things that were the easiest to get people to sign up for? Because there's always, for people who are trying to say oh, I want a club, oh, I want a facility. So I'm going to do this, and this. We know from our side what we would go from ground zero, the most important things, and then filter from there. But when you started Naples Beach Volleyball, what were the easiest things to get people to sign up for, and what were the hardest things?
It's a great question. I would say 100% the easiest was a 4-hour clinic for adults.
Really? Over leagues? That
Over
surprises.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it out there, advertised it on Facebook, Instagram, and I think we had 35 people show up
Great.
for a 4-hour league, $100 a piece. Not a bad payday, but we also got some great coaching in. We had 5 coaches. It was at Midtown.
Low commitment, 1 day.
Low commitment, 1 day. I had to pay a lot of money for insurance first time, but anyway. So that was surprisingly easy. When we got it was exciting. When we got the first sale, I'm like, oh my God, somebody signed up. And then another person signed up. And then another. I was like, what? It was so much fun watching the clickers go over, getting people signed up, and I'm emailing them. And then I emailed everybody, hey, Vigilant. I emailed everybody individually. What are you looking for? What do you want us to work on? What do you want us to focus?
That's so great.
So I was able to concoct 4 hours. I mean, Jesus, what can you teach in 4 hours, right? I tried to do everything. Bad idea. Yeah. I even did video analysis. I'm like, okay, we'll do video analysis. And, oh my God. Yeah. I ended up for the next 3 weeks doing video analysis for people. But so that was surprised. I was surprised that many people signed up. And then every time we hold clinics for kids, holidays, every holiday, you should have a clinic. So, Christmas, holiday, Thanksgiving's a big one. Martin, all these holidays where the parents want to dump the kids off and not worry about them, have a 4-hour clinic. Super easy. So that's a good one. And then the second was practice programs for juniors. Not hard at all. Just get the coaches lined up, get the days of the week, and then go for it. The biggest thing is to deconflict with the indoor clubs, because the indoor clubs, they practice like nuts. High school season starts in the fall, and they go all the way through, high school season ends at Christmas, after Christmas, but club season goes all the way to July. So it's a massive conflict over here. Since beach is so new, there's, relatively new over here because of the high school just starting, that I have tons of confliction problems with indoor. So there's that. But it's also good.
We know a facility owner who has to do kind of like back end friendships with indoor clubs and teams, and he's like, bring them out. Get them an in-sand training so that they have fun, make it a cool day. And he knows that in the long run, so many of them will be like, oh, beach is way more fun. And then they'll be in his facility, in his area over time. But in the meantime, he serves like almost a field trip for the indoor teams where they get some cross training. The players get more skill training. Finally, middles have the opportunity to learn how to set. So it works for them in the short term, but beach wins in the long term.
I'm going to go ahead and steal that. Thank you. I'm going to steal that. There's 3 big clubs here, and I'm going to go after.
Yeah.
I will. Next week, I will email them all. Field trip.
And that's the number one place where you have already players who are paying for training, and it's like, hey, this is going to make you a better volleyball player no matter what. And if you want to split time, or if you want to commit to indoor, like beach training will 100% make you a better indoor player. There's no arguing that, and no matter how many people try to. More reps equals better skill, and there's no like crossover. Like if you're on a hard court, you set differently. If you feel sand between your toes, like set a tiny bit slower. That's it. Those are the only differences. Like aside from all the jump mechanics, but that just comes. So the whole like bad habits from beach it's just rich. I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
good
think
lead in to get more.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna
serve
steal
it.
that.
Come down.
I think that beach improves indoor, but indoor doesn't improve beach. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. No way, dude. They reps improve reps.
Mhm.
If you're passing, if you're setting, if you're seeing ball contacts, you improve it. There are certain things that you just got to modify,
Right.
like in and out. Like, okay, we don't fill holes anymore on the beach. Like filling holes is for indoor. Yeah, because there's no other place to hit. Filling holes on the beach, bad idea, because then you expose shots, which are more likely. So there's that difference. But if the number one rule is volleyball reps. Like I tell people, why does a teenage kid progress so well? Number one, every time they're on a court, they're getting coached. Like they don't go to a court without getting coached, so they got that. Number two, a teenage kid doesn't have their wife or their husband sitting next to them in their bed while they're hand setting to the ceiling, to tell them, can you please stop doing that? A teenage kid is sitting in their beds getting another 500 reps before bed because they're hooked on the sport. Like reps are reps, they'll help you. And plus, if vertical training or plyometric training happens on a hard surface, the benefits translate greater to the beach. Once you fix the mechanics, the benefits of plyometric training on a hard surface are significantly better than the soft surface. So people are like, oh, well, you got to train on the sand to do that. It's like, actually, learn how to approach on the sand, but do your training on hard surface.
All right, sold.
Yeah.
Purpose of education, you enter with an empty mind and you leave with an open mind.
There you go.
Having an open mind
Curiosity
is key, and never being afraid to admit when you're wrong. That's another big. Leave
Well,
the ego at the door.
An opinion that I'll argue into logic, but
anyway, so
for people who are traveling to Florida,
Yeah.
like they're taking their winter vacations. We know we got a bunch of camps that are happening, but on the everyday, is Naples Beach Volleyball available for people who are taking their vacation down in Florida or just want like a nice Fort Myers trip?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like I say, we have the courts that we set up, the community courts. There are other groups that play at parks. So typically you can reach out, just go to naplesbeachvolleyball.com and contact me. There's a phone number, there's email, or through Instagram, direct message through Instagram. And, every day I'm texting, there was a guy driving from Delray Beach up to Sarasota. He's like, hey, is there any place to stop and play? I'm like, yeah, sure. Go to Stero Park or go to
Nice.
So
so even if you're not running stuff, you'll tell them like where people are locally.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
We're hopefully going to get Friday Night Lights going again, which is pickup play. So Friday Night Lights is at the courts that you played at Ice Coast Sports Complex. 6 courts, lighted. Starts at 6, runs till we get tired. So you 6 till 8 or 9. And I run a King of the Court, individual King of the Court on 2 courts, warm up with a big whiteboard in between. You mark down your points. Do that for 20 minutes. Top performers go to one court. The not top performers go to the next court. And then we run it back another 15 minutes of just loops, of King of the Court individual. And
so people can just show up, contact you and say like, hey, can I jump in this night? And you got them?
Yep. That's absolutely. Just show it. That's part of the community building we're trying to do. Is just whatever level, get out there and play. And it's great because, you asked about the leagues. I think the leagues will do fine. The first league wasn't that hard to build. Second league ran great. Third league fizzled. Like the third league, just nobody signed up. I don't know why, but whatever. So we're going to do a spring league and see if that works. Second league, we had 30 teams. So it was pretty good. We had a lot of 4 and 4 teams, but for Friday Night Lights, I've watched these these adults get better. I mean, really get better, and not even a lot of coaching. It's just reps. They're just out there in the sand playing over and over. And some of the younger kids at 20 somethings really gotten better. One of them was just amazing improvement. So it's just getting out there in the sand and having that opportunity. So we set that up for them. They get out there. We really don't make any money on it, but it's just a community service that we do.
Yeah, and that's part of people think, and still we do, that like you run the same thing, you do it, you optimize it, and then it fails, and then 2 to 3 years after doing it, you go, oh, this is a seasonal thing. Like this is what we can expect. It wasn't that you did anything wrong. It wasn't that it was that. It's just you needed to run through 3 years of doing it to realize, this program doesn't get signups because everybody's going on vacation, etc. at this time. This one, like everybody's got holiday and Super Bowl commitments, so they won't come to this league night. And so for all those people who are like doing the same thing, you repeat it and it doesn't work, keep doing it. Just make sure you keep stats throughout the entire year, and then the next year, and then the next year, and then you'll start to understand a little bit of like your business rhythms, which took us a lot of patience and angst to be able to realize like, oh, this isn't our season to do this. So we've got to figure out another way, or pump the brakes, decrease hours and say like, all right, well, our engines burn during this time of the year.
I noticed a shift in Better at Beach, and I don't know if we have time to discuss it, but I've seen you've gone from the 7-day camps to the 3 days. Is that
it was
feedback, or?
It was big for us. We did 7-day camps and they're great. The level of improvement that happens there is crazy. It's exhausting for us. Like that a 7-day camp equals like 10 days of not running a business, but executing on a business. And during that, it's good, but then you're asking coaches to take 8 days off of their life to come for a short-term camp. And then when we talk to people at the camps, at the 7-day camps, they're like, man, I've been trying to come to this for years. I am so happy I'm here. And business Mark turned on and went, wait, why weren't you able to come for the first 2 years? And they're like, well, it is a big commitment to take one of my vacation weeks, say that this is it, line up wife's vacation weeks, line up babysitters, line up job, do all this. And so then immediately I was like, well, what if we just did it Thursday to Sunday? Or if we did it Friday to Sunday? Like, no one works on Fridays anyway. So if you leave town Thursday night and you're back home by Sunday evening, is that more attainable for you? So like you were saying, like, all right, what's the lower friction? Like 1 day for 4 hours or an 8-week league commitment? Like lowest friction. All right. Yeah. 1 time, 4 hours. Cool. So then we started doing that, and we have so many people just like ready to rock. So 3 days became our thing. And now like the 7-day is our like flagship special event, but it takes our entire team to be fully committed 10 days to that, which means that nothing else in the business moves, plans. It's all hands on deck. So it's a big event that we need big commitments from both campers and coaches. So we decided to move more heavily to the 3-day instead of just keep doing 7 days where, all right, I have to exit my family for 5 or 6 full weeks per year. Like I can't even ask that on my family. So it's better for everybody all around to have the 3-day sessions.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's great feedback from the customers, integrated right into your business operations. So that makes really good sense. Hey, not for this podcast, but for another podcast, I'd love to ask both of you, if you had enough money, would you buy the AVP and fix it? And how would you do that?
I don't know if I'd buy it. I don't think I'd buy the AVP, but I'd be willing to start another tournament series. That would look
really?
a lot. That would look a lot different.
1440 competitive type?
I think it would look more like invitationals rather than a season. Like it would be a big culminating one tournament, something like that. Like there's a soccer league. I think it's called T7. One of my buddies that I met in college, him and a friend started it. They have one tournament every year. Prize pool's $1 million, and I think I think that is like a really cool idea.
So like a Wapaka type idea?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, but just one division. All the pros can come play. Get it, like the AVP it's a tricky situation. It could be its own podcast, but I don't want anything to do with all the planning and all the stuff that they have to deal with. I know the McKibbins are taking on a lot of that, and God bless them. But yeah, I think like a invitational, one tournament, promote it, get investors, make it one big thing, and then call it.
I know Pal Louis did that with the Hermosa, didn't he, last year?
Yeah, pretty similar to that. Yeah, I think that's a good model. But if you can beef it up and make it something that everybody looks forward to every year, that doesn't really have an affiliation with anything else, I think something could come from it.
Could be the Better at Beach annual invitational.
Yeah, something along
all right,
those
let's
lines.
do it. Let's do it.
Yep, I like it.
I plan.
Yeah, I'll write up the business plan. You heard it here first.
ChatGPT just did it.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we got to wrap this up, but appreciate you guys listening. If you are excited or motivated by somebody who has came from passion and built his own company post-retirement, found mentors, did it the right way, I want to thank you for being a part of our program, and then through our program, us hiring you and now we're teammates on it. Like that's awesome, Steve. If you are going down to Florida or traveling through Naples Beach Volleyball, they've got events and leagues and everything going on, and that's right near Fort Myers. So there's an airport right there as well. So definitely reach out to Naples Beach Volleyball. If you want to meet Steve in person, as well as myself, we'll be running that camp in Fort Myers April 17th. And we also do have that one coming up at Phil's Place in Orlando, which is a couple hours away, February 6th. And if you want to reach out to any of us for any of our advice or experience along the way, I know Steve's just always open. He's a great guy, and you can DM him at Naples Beach Volleyball or me or Brandon. You can find our links around. But Steve, thank you so much for one, joining the online coaching academy, two, becoming a Better at Beach coach, which is a path that I hope more people take, and three, just being an awesome dude.
Hey, well, hey, thank you so much for having me on, and really look forward to getting better at beach.
Nice. All right. From me, Brandon, and Steve, we'll see you on the sand.
Thanks.
See you guys.